guys, Sheep here. We're about to get all up in this top secret document. Alright, Department of Defense, Project Information Document, 1st September 1955, name Deadeyes, location Parkview Hospital, the criminally insane Deacon Oaks. Duration June 1953 to August 1955. So this went on 2 years. Lead Dr. Elijah Newman, liaison Colonel William Fitzpatrick. Status discontinued. Which means it's probably not 1955. Wait, no, that... Project Information Document, 1st September 1955. Huh. I can't remember what it said the actual year is at the beginning of this game, which makes me really curious about how long it's been since this was discontinued. It's super, like, gnarly down there, though, so probably a while. Project Deadeyes was a study into insanity and was undertaken to establish what causes insanity, whether or not this cause could be harnessed and used as a weapon of war. Of course. It's understood that insanity creates an effect, understood that insanity creates in the affected individual total and complete lack of confidence, morality, and ethical sense of humanity, which in turn allows the individual to commit certain acts without any emotional attachment. Possible benefits of such a state in an individual could could that state be created and controlled, were considered twofold. One, if such a state could be created in arenas of conflict, enemies could be made to eradicate each other. Two, such a state could be used to engineer a more efficient soldier, capable of carrying out orders without any subconscious emotional opposition to those orders. Criminally insane inmates Parkview were chosen as the subjects of study because of the particularly violent nature of their crimes and the obvious emotional detachment must have been present in committing those crimes. I don't think you guys know how murder happens. Usually there's some form of, like, emotional involvement when you get mad enough to murder somebody. However, like, if they're, was it sociopaths or whatever? Like, the one that doesn't, like, feel emotions at all, or at least not like anybody else does. Or not like, air quotes, normal people do. It looks like they've already done the filter and they're like, alright, this guy just up and murdered people for whatever reason. Or their other personality did it, or whatever. I'll just say that's a broad statement to be making there. Or assumption to be making there. Alright, conclusion. Deadeyes ran for 2 years under the lead of Dr. Elijah Newman, a prominent and well-respected brain surgeon, with a background in treating violent psychiatric patients. No conclusive results were ever attained from any of the experiments carried out by Dr. Newman and his staff. It was reported that Dr. Newman became increasingly erratic over time due to this lack of positive results. The concerns were raised over yawns, over his own mental state, and continued suitably as project lead. It was reported that Dr. Newman had moved away from traditional approaches after coming into possession of what he simply described as a secret parchment. This document was apparently written in a dead language, but initial translation revealed it to be about demonic possession, the effects of which Dr. Newman considered to closely resemble those of insanity. Reports go on to say that Dr. Newman was determined to translate the rest of this document and conducted increasingly crazy and medically pointless invasive experiments with each new translation. Subsequent reports say that Dr. Newman was convinced by this document that insanity was caused by demonic possession, which, for a long time, people were like, oh, this person has a mental issue? Clearly it's not a mental issue, it's demonic possession. That's, like, way back when we were burning witches and stuff. But normally it was like, oh yes, clearly the devil is in them, so they're insane. That was your diagnosis. Like, oh yes, you need Jesus. Alright. It became obsessed with the idea that a demon could be exorcised from the affected individual and then utilized as a weapon, thereby fulfilling the mandate of the project. Reports conclude that Dr. Newman was himself insane by the time, On August 5th, an inmate escaped the newly created basement facility, killing 3 other inmates and 6 civilian staff members. This event, coupled with the disturbing reports of Dr. Newman's deteriorating mental state, prompted the immediate discontinuation of the project and the reassignment of the staff and resources of other departments, or 2 other department projects. I'm amazed any of them survived. Do I need to remember that classified thing? Let's write that down. Classified X DOD 15923A. Alright. More pages? More pages. That. Get a card. Escape room. Maybe we have a way out of here. Highly infectious. Use extreme cotton Blue Monday. There was just an immunization room. So he infected them with something. Yeah, I'm betting that's our way out, but I'm curious about what Blue Monday and Donald Wolf are in this world. They might be actual things, I don't know. Because it's supposed to be like based on a true story or whatever. Wasn't it? Donald Wolf. Oh, jeez. Hey, I'm a deputy commissioner. Tragedy struck again yesterday for ex-pharmaceuticals boss Donald Wolf and his wife Joyce, 45, or when his wife was found dead in their family home. No further details have been officially released. However, a source close to the family has told City News that Miss Wolf was found in the bathtub with her wrist cut in an apparently successful suicide bid. Death of Miss Wolf, or Mr. Wolf's wife, comes just 2 months after the suicide of their only daughter, Melissa Wolf, 19, was found hanged in her room at the 5 Acres Tranquility Ranch, where she had been receiving treatment for depression. Oh, there's a few more stories. This is page 1 of 2 of the story. Okay, we're gonna be here, but Miss Wolf was well known in the community for the many hours she dedicated to local charitable causes and events. However, she had not been seen in public since the tragic loss of her daughter. Mr. Wolf had made no secret the effects of their daughter's passing had on their wife's state of mind, describing in several interviews how she had been unable to cope and had succumbed to depression herself. Today, community leader Emily Bishop, who had worked with Miss Wolf on many charitable causes, paid tribute to her friend and colleague, calling her an absolutely selfless, loving, and caring woman with a heart of gold. Always the first to get involved in new causes, she left no stone unturned when helping those less fortunate than herself. I'm sorry, the music makes me sleepy. The world has lost an angel. This terrible tragedy is likely to add even more fuel to Mr. Wolf's case against the 5 Acres Tranquility Ranch. Alright, so maybe that's the 5? She had described as nothing more than a cult designed to prey on the trust and faith of vulnerable and sick people and deprive them of all their worldly possessions in the false hope of a better life. Speaking at the time of his daughter's suicide, Mr. Wolf stated that the 5 Acres Tranquility Ranch had stolen their daughter from them. He went on to reveal that neither he nor his wife had spoken to Melissa since she had taken up residence at the ranch, and that contacting her was harder than contacting the president. It is believed Melissa became involved with the ranch located on a vast estate just outside the city through a local self-help group set up to offer support to young people suffering with depression and other mental issues. Mr. Wolf has been quoted as saying that he believes the self-help group to be simply a front for a shadowy organization that preys on vulnerable people of means in order to fleece them of every penny so its leaders can live like fat cats up there in their luxury compound. A claim he contends is supported by the mysterious disappearance of over $25,000 from his daughter's bank account, money that was supposed to support her as she studied. Following Melissa's death, at the behest of Mr. Wolf, immediate inquiry was opened in the 5 Acres Tranquility Ranch and the self-help group, however, without any actual evidence of Immediate inquiry was opened into them and the self-help group, however, without any actual evidence of wrongdoing, and with Melissa's death officially recorded as a suicide by the coroner, no further action was taken by the authorities, a conclusion that only served to spur Mr. Wolf on. Sorry, I cannot read today. Well, I can, just not well. Speaking at a press conference after the inquiry, Mr. Wolf told reporters, "People stole our daughter from us. They preyed on her vulnerability. They offered her hope. They abused the faith she put in them. She tried to seek help, but nobody took us seriously. Or we tried to seek help, but nobody took us seriously. Nobody listened to us. Instead, they preferred to listen to the propaganda put out by these organizations. Preferred to accept their word as gospel. But the truth is, they just didn't want to think about it. They didn't want to think beyond what they were being told. They didn't want to think for themselves. They didn't want to question. Maybe they didn't want to upset the status quo or rock the boat. Who knows why people follow blindly and without question. But that cost our daughter her life. It is unacceptable. I will not forget this. Somehow, someway, I'll make my point heard. Somebody will pay for this. It is not known what Mr. Wolf's plans were, or how this most recent development will affect them." X Pharmaceuticals today issued a press release confirming the theft of 12 cases of a new, highly potent drug from one of their Dockland warehouses. According to the press release, the drug, codenamed Blue Monday, there we go, is an experimental hallucinogen, which, when injected or inhaled, renders the user highly susceptible to suggestion, can in fact alter their perceptions in reality. Part of the drug's unique and experimental nature is the fact that it plays on the user's individual fears and worries, and alters their perceptions accordingly, causing them to see, hear, feel, smell, and even taste things that are not real, leading to erratic and possibly dangerous behavior. Anti-drug campaigners have called for the global pharmaceutical company to be heavily fined for the security breach, stating that the threats posed should this drug make it on the street cannot be overestimated. Local police are investigating and have given this case their highest priority. However, no arrests have been made, or have yet been made. So, why did they need that drug? Were they going to use it to make something else? It's now saying that Donald Wolf has stepped down as CEO of X Pharmaceuticals and sold his shares in the global corporation, thereby severing all ties with the company he has run for more than 20 years. Holy cow. Also, this is all happening in like June 2008, so yeah, this is more modern times. Well, like 10 years ago. Mr. Wolf founded X Pharmaceuticals in 1986 with a friend and business partner, Jeremiah Aldrich. Hold on. Your last name is Aldrich? That's an appropriate last name for a person with money to have, I guess. I don't know. With 2 highly skilled PhD graduates at the helm, they were immediately successful, securing several government contracts by 1991. In 1997, the 2 chemists took the company public, making themselves instant millionaires in the process. In the years that followed, X Pharmaceuticals grew into the largest commercial drug manufacturer in North America, supplying pharmaceuticals to 90% of the continent's hospitals and pharmacies. That's a lot of medication you're making. 2003, the company was credited with making major leaps forward in the treatment of several life-threatening diseases. By 2005, had begun to develop new ways to treat mental illness. However, earlier this year, tragedy struck founding partner and CEO Donald Wolfe, the suicides of both his wife and daughter due to depression. Mr. Wolfe continued in the face of adversity, but today has expressed his wish to leave the rat race behind and devote some much-needed time to himself and mourn what he has lost. Mr. Wolfe wishes the company the very best in the future and hopes it can continue to make great strides forward, for which it is famous, especially in the field of mental illness, an area which is now very close to his heart. Alright, let's see if we can get anything else on Blue Monday. Zero results. Alright, so I guess we're donezo there. Now we want... No, that's not where his room is. Not the main hub, right? Yeah. I have the key. Let's do it this way. Escape room. I would like to go through the escape room. What the heck? Alright, let me see if I missed something. Stuff to the immunization room. We search for Donald Wolfe. Something else I should be doing here? Leave the computer room, go directly to the room. Directly off Donald's living room. The door of the escape room is now unlocked. Go. Okay. Hold on. Apparently I do it that way since I didn't have the number. And it won't finish while I'm looking at it, so go out. Back in. To unlocked! Commissioner! We're out of here! We survived! The screen's all black. The end! Alright, that was a lot of fun. Kind of difficult to get through. It was really super duper interesting though. I enjoyed it. I really hope this music is incorporated. Just in case, we're gonna put that music down to 0. I had a lot of fun with this, and I like the art style. I like that we now do not know if the stuff we were seeing and thought was happening was actually real or not, or just leftover drug. I don't know which one I want to think it is. Because it'd be super duper trippy if we were seeing demons, but like we had enough reading and stuff done for that fear to be placed in our mind and for the drug to cause it. However, like, I don't think that scene where we were running away would have led to that one room. Maybe it would have. I don't know. I mean, I guess it, like, there wasn't a demon or anything like that, because Donald clearly didn't mention any of that. And I think he was just drugging people to murder people, and he could do sort of like his, not jigsaw level of traps, this is more straight up torture, but basically punishing people for being corrupt and not, taking responsibility and stuff like that. But then you have these followers that like didn't think, okay, the game just closed on its own. So there's that. I will see you guys in the next one. I haven't decided what I'm gonna play yet. I mean, I have a game called Trick or Treat picked out, but I was gonna do that on stream because it's a free game. So maybe I'll find something else, or maybe I'll just play Trick or Treat. I don't know. I'll do some thinking. We'll figure it out. I'll see you guys then. Bye!